So I think if you're going to get into the investment game, especially, know your forms and know what you don't know. Know when it's time to call somebody else that does it more than you, or call an attorney you work with. Don't do what you don't know how to do. Right? I mean, making deals is a great art, and there's not a lot of people that can do that. Contracts form, that's a different art. And some people are better at that than they are to make a deal. So make sure you have your resources. Make sure you have colleagues and mentors and things like that can help you. Make sure you have attorneys that can help you. And make sure you've got your resources in place, especially if you're new to the investment game. I'm sure you've run into that in lots of transactions.
Hey there, I'm Gary Settle with Supreme Lending. With 20 plus years in the banking and financing industry, I'm here to help you accomplish your dreams with respect to buying a home, a primary residence, a vacation home, or an investment property. You can come to me with confidence and know that I can find the best thing to fit your needs. So, how do you connect? Call me. My cell phone number is 502-298-1356. Also text that number, 502-298-1356, Monday through Sunday. Let me help you accomplish your goals and your dreams.
I've heard some horror stories of people that tried to do closings at their own kitchen table, that they're buying a property that's inherited, or someone's bought on some crazy land contract and it wasn't recorded, and trying to check out who actually owns this, who has the right to sell this property. I know there's a lot of reasons to hire a title company, so you guys can do those searches and protect the buyer and the seller. What are some of the crazy title issues? Or I'm sure you've seen a lot.
But even if so to kind of bring everybody else in, what we do as investors is we enter into agreements with as buyers, we find sellers, we enter those agreements. What you're saying to all of us here and the tribe is, look, know what you're putting in front of others. And if you're uncertain, call professional help, call an attorney and get some help. And that's what I'm hearing you share right now. That's kind of because we know the business, but for those that may not, be in the business, we just want to be able to help them understand what's going on.
Absolutely. I mean, you guys are mentors to other people. I mean, if you can't reach an attorney, call somebody else that does it, that knows the contracts better. Know your forms. Before you go out there, know your forms. Know what you're putting in front of the people, and make sure it's clear to them. Because look, if they're going to make a deal with you, they're going to make a deal with you.
Yeah.
If they make a deal with you that they don't know the deal, that's when it blows up before closing, right? And everybody's got their stuff lined up. They've got workers lined up. They've got money they're going to make on the deal lined up. And then 2 days before closing,
they got their shoes picked out from the closing check. They know exactly buying. They got the money spent.
Yeah.
And here it is. You're telling them like,
we're the ones that have to send the settlement statement out, which has the actual numbers on it, right? So you work a deal with somebody and they don't know what that looks like in numbers form. If you're not explaining that to them properly, I've had a lot of deals where everything's hunky-dory, everybody's getting along, can't wait for this to close, and we send out that settlement statement, and sure enough, the person selling that house says, well, what's all this? I thought I was walking with the sales price, or you know what I mean? And
what do you mean I have to pay off my mortgage?
Yeah, exactly. It's just, it's wild, but I think I don't know. I wasn't involved in the conversations that struck those contracts up, but I have an idea of how they were struck up, and it wasn't explained to them properly. Right. And I don't think that these people would have not gone through with the deal had it been explained up front and said, hey, you got to pay your tax prorations. You're going to have some closing costs on your end. Here's what your bottom line, here's what your check's really going to look like. We're going to have to pay off any liens on the property, things of that nature. Explaining that to them, just getting them prepped for it so that when we send out numbers, a few days before closing, nobody's looking at it like, what is all of this? I had no idea. I thought Bill was buying this house for me for $50,000. I was walking out with $50,000.
Well, I don't know, so it has to be, an explanation.
It's tax prorations, which people understand by the time, but even when you're going through that contract, this tax proration section means in Kentucky, the tax bill comes out at the end of the year. If it's before that end of the year, 4 months before the end of the year, you're going to be paying me as the buyer credit for January 1 through the closing date. That's going to be debited from your bottom line. That's just you simply paying your portion of taxes. It's not me trying to take money from you, but that's the way the contract reads. You say, okay, yeah, that makes sense. And if you explain it to them a month before closing, when they get the settlement statement, they're going to look at that number. They might not remember right away, but when you say, hey, remember when we talked about the tax proration